God hates idiots. Listen closely, for this is a message from the Almighty. I am the Lord your God, and I am here to address a crucial matter that many have overlooked in their ignorance. Yes, it is true. God hates idiots. This may sound harsh, but bear with me as I reveal the wisdom hidden within the Holy Scriptures. This is not a message of condemnation, but a call to wisdom and understanding. So, heed my words and transform your ways. Proverbs 1:7 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction." Understand this, my children. To reject wisdom is to reject me. Fools, or idiots as you might call them today, turn away from instruction and guidance. They scorn knowledge and prefer the darkness of ignorance. This is not my will for you. Consider the folly of those who act without thought, who speak without knowledge. Proverbs 18:2 declares, "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion." How often have you seen this in your world? Those who speak loudly, yet say nothing of value. Those who reject the counsel of the wise and follow their own misguided paths. Proverbs 12:15. "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice." The fool believes himself to be wise, ignoring the wisdom of others. This is a path to ruin, for it leads one away from the light of truth and into the abyss of ignorance. In Proverbs 13:16 it is written, "Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool flaunts his folly." Here lies the core of the message. To be prudent is to seek knowledge, to act with understanding. But the fool, the idiot, proudly displays his lack of wisdom. This is not a virtue but a vice, a deviation from the path of righteousness. Ecclesiastes 10:14. "A fool multiplies words, though no man knows what is to be, and who can tell him what will be after him?" The fool speaks endlessly, yet his words carry no weight, no foresight. He is blind to the future, to the consequences of his actions. This is why I admonish you, do not be like him. My children, understand that this is not about intelligence, but wisdom. James 1:5 tells you, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Seek wisdom from me, and I shall grant it. But do not remain in foolishness, for it leads only to destruction." Matthew 7:26-27. "And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. The fool hears my words but does not act on them. He builds his life on a foundation of sand, easily swept away by the storms of life." Consider this parable and reflect on your own life. Are you building on the rock of wisdom or the sand of folly? The choice is yours, but know this. My desire is for you to choose wisdom, to walk in the light of understanding. Do not be an idiot. Heed my teachings. Proverbs 14:16. "One who is wise is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool is reckless and careless." The wise person is careful, discerning, turning away from evil. The fool, however, plunges headfirst into danger, ignoring the signs and warnings. This recklessness leads to ruin. In Proverbs 26:11, a vivid picture is painted. "As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly." This is a stark reminder of the foolishness of repeating the same mistakes. Learn from your errors, do not persist in them. Seek wisdom, turn from folly, and find life. Proverbs 15:21. "Folly is a joy to him who lacks sense, but a man of understanding walks straight ahead. Those who lack sense find joy in their foolishness. But this is a false joy, fleeting and empty. True joy is found in wisdom, in understanding, in walking the straight path I have laid out for you." My children, do not be dismayed by these harsh truths. They are given in love, a call to rise above foolishness and embrace wisdom. Psalm 14:1 declares, "The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, they do abominable deeds. There is none who does good." To deny me is the ultimate folly, the greatest act of foolishness. Recognize my presence, my guidance, and you shall be wise. Proverbs 28:26. Whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. Trust not in your own understanding, but seek my wisdom. Walk in the light I provide, and you will find deliverance from the snares of folly. This message is a call to action. Abandon the ways of the fool, the idiot, and embrace wisdom. Seek understanding in all that you do. I, the Lord your God, am with you, ready to guide you on the path of righteousness. Remember, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. Proverbs 9:10. Let this be your guiding light, and you shall never be called an idiot again. Seek wisdom, avoid folly, walk in the light of the Lord. My children, heed these additional lessons from the Holy Scriptures, for they are filled with wisdom and guidance to help you avoid the path of the fool. Proverbs 29:11 says, "A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back." This speaks to the importance of self-control and patience. The fool is quick to anger, quick to speak, and slow to listen. Such behavior leads to discord and strife. On the other hand, the wise person listens, reflects, and responds with calmness and discernment. Consider the words of Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. Silence can often be more powerful than words. By refraining from speaking rashly, you show wisdom and maturity. This is a lesson in humility and restraint, virtues that are highly valued in my sight. Reflect on Proverbs 10:8. The wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. Wisdom is demonstrated through obedience and a willingness to learn. The fool, however, disregards instruction and speaks without thought. This leads to their downfall. Embrace the commandments I have given you, and you will walk in the light. Proverbs 14:7 advises, "Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge." Surround yourself with the wise and the righteous. The company you keep influences your actions and thoughts. Fools will lead you astray, but the wise will guide you towards righteousness and truth. In Proverbs 19:3 it is written, "When a man's folly brings his way to ruin, his heart rages against the Lord." This is a warning against blaming me for the consequences of your own foolish actions. Take responsibility for your choices and seek my guidance to avoid folly. Understand that I am here to lead you to wisdom and understanding. Remember Proverbs 23:9. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the good sense of your words. There are times when your wisdom will not be appreciated or understood by those who choose foolishness. Do not waste your words on those who will not listen. Instead, seek those who value wisdom and are willing to learn. In Proverbs 15:5, a fool despises his father's instruction, but whoever heeds reproof is prudent. Heeding correction is a sign of wisdom. The fool rejects discipline and instruction, leading to a life of chaos and misdirection. Embrace correction, for it is through this that you grow and improve. Consider the warning in Proverbs 9:13. The woman folly is loud, she is seductive and knows nothing. Folly often presents itself in an alluring manner, tempting you to stray from the path of wisdom. Be vigilant and discerning, recognizing the deceitful nature of folly and the true value of wisdom. In Ecclesiastes 7:9, be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the bosom of fools. Anger is a destructive force that resides within the heart of the fool. It clouds judgment and leads to regrettable actions. Cultivate a spirit of peace and patience, for these are the marks of true wisdom. Reflect on Proverbs 28:26. Whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. Trusting solely in your own understanding is the height of folly. Seek my wisdom, walk in my ways, and you will find deliverance from the snares of ignorance and folly. Remember Proverbs 24:7. Wisdom is too high for a fool, In the gate he does not open his mouth. This verse illustrates that wisdom is beyond the grasp of those who choose to remain foolish. In the places where important matters are discussed and decisions are made, the fool has no voice. This is a call for you to seek wisdom so that you may partake in meaningful conversations and decisions. Proverbs 26:12 warns, "Do you see a man who is wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him." This is a stark reminder of the dangers of arrogance. When you believe you have all the answers, you close yourself off to learning and growth. True wisdom comes with humility and a willingness to admit when you are wrong. Proverbs 18:6-7. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. Words have power, and the fool's reckless speech leads to conflict and self-destruction. Be mindful of your words, for they can build up or tear down, bring peace or incite strife. Ecclesiastes 5:1. Guard your steps when you go to the house of God. To draw near to listen is better than to offer the sacrifice of fools, for they do not know that they are doing evil. Approach worship and prayer with reverence and humility. The fool believes that outward acts alone are sufficient, but I desire a heart that listens and seeks to understand. Proverbs 21:20. Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. Wisdom leads to prosperity and careful stewardship of resources, while foolishness results in waste and poverty. Be diligent and wise in managing what you have been given, so that you may live in abundance and not in want. Consider also the teaching of Proverbs 22:3. The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Wisdom involves foresight and caution. The fool blindly marches into trouble, while the wise person anticipates and avoids it. Be prudent, assess the risks, and act wisely to protect yourself and others. Finally, reflect on the promise of Proverbs 13:14. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. Embrace the teachings of wisdom, for they bring life, health, and security. The path of foolishness leads to ruin, but the path of wisdom leads to everlasting life. My children, take these words to heart. Embrace wisdom, seek understanding, and live a life that is pleasing to me. In doing so, you will avoid the pitfalls of folly and walk in the blessings I have prepared for you. Amen.